much for coming to the premiere thank you so much for coming tonight. The premiere and the finale have really had great audiences. Just checking, do you guys know that there were another 18 episodes like in between those two? Like, where you guys been? We've been doing this all year, but really thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it. I cannot, but yeah, give it up. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. I cannot believe that the end has finally come. I have done Purchase Late Night for all 4 years of my time at Purchase, and this is my 81st episode. And guys, it is a big one. We have food, we have drinks, we have music, we have a house band, and when the show finishes, I will have many tears. My time at Purchase Late Night has been so special, and I have so many incredible people to thank, like my amazing writers, Serafina and Philip, for trusting me with this role last year, and the continued support that I've received from my therapist. It's been a hard year, and we've gone through many boxes of tissues. It's been a really wild ride, but so, ladies and gentlemen, for the final time, let's get to the news. Russian President Vladimir Putin was sworn into his 4th term in office today. However, many believe that Putin rigged the election, as he has been accused of stuffing ballot boxes and banning his opponents from running. None of this comes as a huge surprise, though, as from the beginning, his campaign slogan has been, "I will be president forever." When news outlets tried to reach his opponents for comments, none of them were able to speak, as they had just been murdered. Since the election, over 1,000 Russians have been detained for their anti-Kremlin protests. They were heard chanting, "Putin is a thief," along with, "It's cold." This really leaves me wondering, do Russians say that they're going to move to another country following the president's election like the way Americans say they're going to move to Canada? Like a guy named Olaf is like, "Yo man, we have to get out of Russia. We can go to North Korea. I hear they have giant rocket to keep us warm at night. Their leader is so round they just want to squeeze him." That was a little Dracula, right? This week, during the University of Florida's graduation ceremony, several dancing college grads were dragged off the stage for being, quote, "inappropriately aggressive," which sounds awful, but it'll make a great sequel to Footloose. And, props to the students for having the confidence to dance at graduation, because the only time I've ever been confident to a point of inappropriately aggressive was at my first middle school dance. Apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. Yeah, drag me off too. I'm Kevin Bacon, bitch. Last night, the Washington Post published a profile of First Lady Melania Trump detailing her daily routine and plans for the next 3 to 7 years. It talked about how she prefers to live a more private life and how she gets Barron ready for school in the morning, but failed to mention the escape tunnel that she's been digging with spoons hidden behind her New Kids on the Block poster. The report stated that Melania leads a largely separate life from her husband, living in different rooms and often traveling separately, which is lucky for her because if she gets too close, she could just be absorbed by his gelatinous mass. Can you imagine those two in couples therapy? Like Melania tearfully airing her grievances and Trump speaks softly to his McDonald's. Speaking of McDonald's, as of today, federal rules will require chain restaurants, grocery stores, and convenience stores to post calorie counts for all standard items on their menus, as if you needed a better indication that the Ruby Tuesday Mondo Cheese Explosion lard burger could kill you just by looking at it. In the wake of these new requirements, many chain restaurants are leaning into the change. For example, the TGI Fridays acronym now stands for "Thank God I'm Fat." And Applebee's has updated its slogan from "eating good in the neighborhood" to "everyone in the neighborhood has diabetes." Meanwhile, Pizza Hut's slogan has remained the same at "you're gonna die." Lastly, I just want to say how much I am going to miss Purchase Late Night. Every week was so exciting, walking into the writers' meeting and seeing what color Quinn dyed his hair this week. And of course, I'll miss my writing staff and their continued creativity and coming up with new poop-related sketches every week. And then there's the Alumni Community Center, where our episodes were taped for the past semester. This was a really special place for me and my friends to get together and steal toilet paper. And finally, I'll miss the long hours and hours of editing the Purchase Late Night episodes, only to get 4 views online from my mom and Dean Bell. Shout out to you, Dean. You may or may not be watching right now. We have an amazing show for you guys tonight. Next year's PLN head honchos will be coming on to talk about where the show is going. Una O'Brien is here to do some stand-up